attending classes are less nowadays?
And 16,
Ma'am,
including
16
me.
students, including.
Including me, 17.
Yes, ma'am.
Including the host, 17 only. Okay, so children, so let us revise non-finite. As I know that there is a little confusion in the non-finite forms, today we are planning to revise the non-finite forms. Okay, so let us start today's class, today's revision.
Yes,
Gopi
ma'am.
Krishna? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know that there is a little confusion in the topic called non-finite verb for you. Have you all done the activities, the worksheets and all?
Yes, ma'am.
There is a question. There is a worksheet called gerund worksheet, right? It is
Yes.
easy. Remove all the two infinitives and add ing forms, right?
Ma'am, you have sent the 7th worksheet again.
So 2 times. Don't worry.
Yes.
If you have written once, I think with the answer I have sent the 7th one.
Ma'am, when
I'll
you
send the
send
answers
this,
today for the synthesis of sentences and the gerund and the non-finite forms. Okay.
when you send
Modal
the,
auxiliary, I'll be sending you the worksheet on modal auxiliaries for exercising it, because as we have completed modal auxiliaries, and the other worksheet for you you to do is based on writing parts. Okay. So for that, let me give you a few work. You please write the biographical sketch. Okay, all of you please take out a paper, in a ruled paper. It is not an assignment. This is another worksheet activity for you. You please write biographical sketch. You know what is biographical sketch? About a person's from birth to death.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
you have to write in chronological order. What do you mean by chronological order?
Ma'am, correct
From the
order.
birth to the death.
Birth,
Okay,
death.
so you please prepare a biographical sketch. Autobiography and biography are two different things. Autobiography means a person who is writing about himself. Mahatma Gandhi has wrote an autobiography called My Experiments with Truth, right? A lot of people, Malala's autobiography, a person who is living is writing his childhood memories, youth, and also what is it happening in his life in the right chronological order is said to be an autobiography. But biographical sketch means about me. If Prarthana is writing, then that is called a biography. It should be from birth to death. It should be there should be an order. You should write all the achievements. If I have received any awards in my life, you have to study about my life before you're writing something. You can start writing from my day of birth, day 1 to the day last. Okay, so prepare a biographical sketch on William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Note down, these are the works for you based on one activity. Biographical sketch. Prepare a biographical sketch on William Shakespeare. Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. Not in Malayalam, it should be in English. Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. Kamala Das. As you all know, Madhavikutty, the pen name for Kamala Das in Malayalam, Kamala Suraya, the same person, and she used to write by the name of Kamala Das in English. Okay, Kamala Das, write biography or biographical sketch on Kamala Das.
And Thomas is in the waiting
And the last one, Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond. So you have four persons. Write a biographical sketch on William Shakespeare in ruled papers, not in, as it is not a part of our assignment. Okay, this is based on one worksheet activity, and you should prepare a biographical sketch on William Shakespeare. Malayalam, Bepur Sultan called Vaikya Muhammad Bashir, Kamala Das, and also Ruskin Bond. Okay, you have 4 persons. You take 4 different sheets for writing biographical sketch. It should be, you should write paragraph in the form of paragraphs. Okay, different paragraphs. Childhood 1 paragraph, middle age 1 paragraph, schooling, colleging, whatever it is. Okay, everything. It should be, there should be an order, and I'll be checking this activity after the examination. Okay, I'll fix one date and I'll inform you. I request Prarthana to remind me of this. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
after the examination. So you have a lot of days. So you don't sit for this now. You can start writing this biographical sketch on these 4 writers after the examination. If you have time, one day, one person. Likewise, you can write and file along with your notes. Okay, the title should be
Ma'am,
biographical
pictures we
sketch.
need.
Okay.
Ma'am, pictures we need.
Pictures, if it is
Photos.
available, you don't want to buy, you don't want, if you can draw, you draw. Okay, if you can draw the picture of William Shakespeare, you draw it. If the pictures are available, then you paste it. Otherwise, I'm not forcing you to paste the picture of, because you can do it in an A4. No, you can do it in a ruled paper. From the school you got ruled papers, right? In that
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
also do this. Okay, Thomas Chaco and Abhishek. So these are
Ma'am.
the main activities I should share with you. And let me explain the known finite forms of verb once again as a part of revision. So now you listen. If you're not understanding, now itself please tell me. Okay, children, known finite verbs. The name itself, verbs, right? So these are a kind of verb derived from the verb, or it is also called the form of a verb. Okay, it is derived or it is formed from a verb. Okay, and the problem, as you all know, there are 3 tenses and there are 12 tense form, and this 12 tense form, by looking at the finite verb, we will be able to identify the tense form. Okay, but by looking at these non-finite forms, there are infinitives, there are participles, and there are gerunds in English non-finite verb forms. Listen children, we have 2 infinitives, we have participles, we have gerunds in English grammar. Non-finite form. All these forms are derived or formed from verbs. Okay, these are also a form of verb, but these are derived from verbs, but it has some other function. Unlike a verb, it has some other function. It acts like, or it functions like a noun, it functions like an adjective, it can also function like a adverb in a sentence. Okay, this is most important point because it does not show the tense form. To jump, if the sentence, I like to eat ice cream, I like, finite verb like is used, and I can say that the sentence is in simple present tense. I like ice creams, right? But I like to eat ice cream. See, I like to eat ice cream. So by looking at to eat, I am helpless to identify the tense forms, right? So this is the major difference between a finite verb and a non-finite verb. Okay, these are verb forms, but these non-finite form does not show the tense. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
At the same time, children, remember a finite verb has a subject. He likes. He likes. I like. Okay, this is he, so I should use likes because he is a singular subject. This is I should use like because I is a singular subject, but it is an exceptional case. So I have to use only this plural verb or the base form of a verb after I. This is the rule. Okay, but these rules are not for these non-finite forms because it does not have a tense form, it does not show the tense form, it does not have a subject to control this verb. Okay, so if the subject is singular he, you can use to like. He likes to eat ice cream. To like, we haven't changed. And I like to eat. There also I haven't changed. I have not made any changes to like. And also I won't be able to identify the tense forms. Am I clear?
Ma'am.
Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me share the screen for you once again. We have finite and non-finite verbs here. Verbs, there are finites and non-finite forms, and as you all know, this finite forms shows tense. These are the major points that you should remember. Finite verb shows tense. Non-finite form does not show tense. Okay, a finite verb has 3 tenses. Remember, this is revision. I am reteaching, so listen to my class. Children, we have 3 tenses. past tense, present tense and future tenses. And you know you have 4 different forms under each tenses. So we have got 12 tense form. All these 12 tense form shows tense. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but in case of
Yes, ma'am.
non-finite verb, it does not have a subject and also it does not show the tense. And it is divided into 3. The first non-finite verb is infinitive. So we have a form called to plus
base form.
verb form. Okay, and this verb must be the base form. Okay, this must be in base form. To plus base form. This is called infinitive. Infinitive stands in the place of a subject. It can also stand in the place of an object in a sentence. Clear? Clear? To solve this problem is easy. There the word to solve, it is in the place of a subject. So if it is in the place of a subject, it can act like a noun. As you all know, a noun is, it can be a person's name, it can be a pronoun, right? Noun or a pronoun can be the subject of a sentence, right? So it acts like, sometimes it acts like a subject of the sentence. Clear? Clear? And it can be in the place, I like to eat ice creams. I like to eat ice cream. It can be in the place of an object also. So children, infinitive, to plus base form. Remember, it is also called two infinitives in English grammar. Clear? So two infinitives are non-finite forms. Am I clear? Two infinitives are non-finite form from which we won't be able to identify the tenses. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the second one is called participle. We have two participles. Okay, we have present participle and we have past participle. How many participles are there? There are two participles, present participles and past participle. Okay, it has another name. It takes a form of an adjective in a sentence. Okay, so it is called a verbal adjective. Okay, verbal adjective. Am I clear? It is also called a verbal adjective. You can expect a question in the question paper. What is the other name for the participle? Verbal noun, verbal adjective. What is it?
Verbal adjective.
Verbal adjective. Why it is called a verbal adjective? Because it functions like an adjective in a sentence. Okay, if it is an adjective, you know that the adjectives are always coming just before the noun, right? Right? Adjective, beautiful girl. Beautiful is the adjective used before the noun girl. Okay? Smart boy. Smart is an adjective which describes the noun, right? The rising sun. The rising sun. You can see a present participle used in this. Rising sun. See? So before a noun, it comes. Am I clear?
Yes,
In the form of wherever we are using adjectives, we can use this present participles and past participles. And you know, unlike, than using it as an adjective, it has or it can also use to form a verb tense. I'll show you one example. Children, look at here. Children, look at here. The sentence is, she is singing a song. Okay, she is singing a song. Is singing is a finite verb and you know that this is given in present continuous, right?
Yes.
If the question is, pick out the non-finite verb from this, which word you will choose from here?
I'm singing.
I'm actually planning to give, yeah, absolutely correct. I'm planning to give you a sentence like this in the question paper. Okay, she is singing a song. Remember, she is singing a song. Okay, and you know, you are already aware that the sentence is actually, or you can see a finite verb in it. Is singing, it is a complete verb, it shows tense and it is in present continuous. But by giving this sentence and I am telling you to identify the non-finite verb, you will be confused. And I'll be giving you in the question paper, is singing, she is singing, singing. Which is correct answer?
I'm singing.
Singing. Very good. Singing is the right answer here because you know by rule to construct a present continuous, we have a subject, we have an auxiliary verb, and we should use present participle. Correct? Okay, correct. So these present participles are also used to frame a verb tense. A verb tense. Clear? Am I clear? So
Yes, ma'am.
children, we have two uses. Past participles are two, present participles and past participles, and these are also called verbal adjective, and it also construct, it is also helpful for us to construct a verb tense. Okay, we are using to construct a present perfect, past perfect, continuous, and all with the help of present participles and past participles, right? Right? So
Yes, ma'am.
these participles act like an adjective, or it functions like an adjective in a sentence, and also we are using it to construct a verb tense. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So I have a slide for you here. Noun finites does not show, this is very important point, it does not show the tense. Okay, in other words, you cannot tell if the sentence is in past tense, present tense, or it is given in future tense by looking at the noun finite verb. Okay, and point to remember, it is derived from the form of verb. Point number 1, it has no subject, therefore it is not limited by the number. Number means what? Singular or plural? As you all know, subject verb agreement. If the subject is singular, you should use a singular verb. If the subject is plural, you should use a plural verb. But this is not applicable for non-finite verb. And person, I have told you a few minutes before, if the subject is I, you can use only have. You can't use has, though it is in singular, right? And they may function like noun. All non-finite form, it has a function in sentence. It may function like an adjective, noun, or an adverb in a sentence. See, example, the boy wants to swim. The word swim I have used in different places in different forms. Here it is in the form of an infinitive, to swim. The boy wants to swim. Okay, it is in the form, to swim is a to infinitive form in the place of an object. Why it is called an object? Because it comes after a verb. Okay, okay.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
it is before a verb, means it is in the place of a subject. Okay, I found the boy swimming. Look at here, I found the boy swimming. See, swimming, that is actually a participle form, because here we are describing the boy, how he is, or how did he swim, right? Right? So
Yes,
it describes, the word swimming describes the noun boy. So it functions like an adjective. So this is an example for adjective or verbal adjective, or it is called a participle of a sentence. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last one is very important, children. Infinitive. Let me explain once again. Infinitive is the base form of the verb, which is preceded by to. Before it, preceded by to sit, to eat, to have, to remember. To plus base form you should use to construct a to infinitive form. At the same time, we have infinitives, and the examples here I have told you here, it is in the form because it comes before. It is in the place of a subject. He likes to play. Here it is in the place of an object, right? Wanted to do his work. All these forms are not showing any tenses. Okay? Okay? Bare infinitive also, I have told you, without to, if it is used in a sentence, then it is called a bare infinitive, which does not show the tense. As I have given you, or I have explained to you, we are normally using a bare infinitive. Okay, after, it is used after certain verbs, like see, it is used, bare infinitives normally comes after see, hear, feel, know, observe, make, help, need, and please. Okay, I heard her sing, heard after her, heard, please go. Okay, after please it is used, you need not do. Okay, you need not do. The teacher made the children wait. All these are the examples for two infinitive, bare infinitive forms. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Abhina?
Yes.
Only chair. Okay. See examples, infinitive examples. Birds love to sing. We decided not to go out. To learn is very important. So 2 plus base form. This is a must. 2 plus base forms are 2 infinitive forms used in English grammar. Okay? Okay, now we have participles. I have told you participles are verbal adjective. This is very important point. Participles are also called verbal adjective. We have 2 participles. We have present participles and we have past participles. You know, present participles are always ending in ing. Okay, present participles are always ending in ing. But past participle, you can see the form like t, ending in t, burnt. T, jumped, ed, okay, d, en, n, shone, okay, n, all it is past participles are ending with these words. Am I clear? This is also called the third form of the verb and this is called the fourth form of a verb. Okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And a present participle shows an ongoing action, an action which is not completed. We are using a present participle to show an incompleted action or an incomplete action. Incomplete action. But past participle, a completed action. To show a completed action, we are using a past participle. To show an incomplete action, we are using present participles. Okay? Okay,
Yes,
children?
ma'am.
And
Yes,
as you
ma'am.
all know, participles are partially or partly a verb and partly an adjective in use. That is why I have told you she is singing a song, right? She is singing a song. Here it functions not like an adjective. Here it forms a part of a sentence to construct or to make it into a complete sentence, to form a tense, to form a tense. Okay, she is singing a song. So singing is a present participle used. So it is partly a verb in use and also partly an adjective. Here it is present participle adjective because it's just before the word called I met a girl carrying a basket full of flowers. Okay, I met a girl carrying a basket full of flowers. Okay, his tattered coat needs mending. It comes before a noun and also describes a noun. Okay, his tattered coat. So his tattered coat. It's a description how he dressed up, right? His dress is tattered, torn. A burned child dreads the fire. So here it acts like an adjective. Okay? Okay? He played a losing game. Okay, losing game. Before a noun it is used in the form of an adjective. So a participle, it can be an adjective in use and also you can see it should be used in the form of a verb also in some time. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the present participle ending with ing represent an action as going on, an incomplete or imperfect action. Loudly knocking. Loudly knocking, it is showing an incomplete action which is going on, knocking and knocking and knocking. Okay? At the same time, past participle, it represent a completed action. See, was started. Completed entirely in the past, ending in D, ED, T, and an end. Example, a burnt child. I hope this is understood. Clear?
Yes.
Can explain it
Now
again?
comes the hero of non-finite verb. Who is he or she?
Gerund.
Gerund. Gerunds are called verbal noun. What is it?
Verbal noun.
Noun. Wherever we are using a noun, those all places we can use a gerund. You know, it is ending or it has a tail. with a verb. If you add ing at the end of a verb, it can be in the form of a gerund. But only one condition, it must act like a noun. It is not a verb. Okay? Which ends in ing and has a force of a noun and a verb. Because you know, you are confused with present participles and gerunds, right? You may be confused with present participles and gerund, right? Present participles are also ending in ing, and you can see that this gerund form also ending in ing. How can I distinguish present participle and a gerund? Easy. The other one is either it forms a finite verb, it's a part of a finite verb, it shows the in a verb. Present participle, sometimes it is in the form of an adjective in use because it comes before a noun. At the same time, this smart guy called gerund is always in the form of a noun. It acts like a noun in a sentence. Okay? It just acts like wherever we are placing a noun in a sentence, those all places we can place this gerund, word ending with ing. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, to replace a to infinitive, we can use this. To replace a to infinitive, because I have told you, to infinitive also can be in the place of a subject and also in the place of an object. So if it is in the place of a subject and object, what happens? What happens? It is definitely a noun, right?
Yes.
So where those places we can use a gerund, which the word ending in ing. And there are a few choices. Always gerunds can be easily identified because I have told you it is ending in ing form. Okay, ending with word ending with ing. At the same time, most of the times it is placing just before the auxiliary verb. Okay, it comes just before the auxiliary verb. If there is any auxiliary verb used before that, we can place this gerund. And also in the place of object it comes. Okay, after a preposition also it is placed. Okay, without eating. I cannot live without eating. I cannot live without eating. Where you can see without is a preposition in use, right?
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
So without is a preposition, always comes before a noun. You know, prepositions are always just before, it is used before a noun. So we can use a gerund after a preposition also. These are the hint points, or these are the click words that you should remember always.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
you should remember always a gerund is always used in the form of a noun. That is why it is called a verbal noun. Wherever we are using, or just before the auxiliary verb in the form of a subject, after the auxiliary verb in the form of an object, and after the preposition like without, of, and all, we are using this gerund form. Clear?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have a few questions to exercise. Jot it down. I think it's time. No, 11:30, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have 10 minutes. So make it fast. Identify the known finite verbs from the following. I hope that this is clear. Shivanya? Shivanya?
Ma'am.
Am I clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The questions for you. Why your video is off? You have some internet issue?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm not able
Okay. Safa, Raulgar, Adnan, videos are off. Alina, I can see only the curtains. Alina turned into a curtain. Magical world.
Can you?
Alina is not attending the class. The curtain is waving and attending the class. I can see only hairs. Adjust your camera, Alina. I think she kept it to get the proper range. Raulkar, my God, what is it? Stuck. Question. Identify the known finite verbs and name it. Tia, listen here. Write the question. Take rule the papers. Tia?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Take ruled paper and write.
Can we write?
He likes to visit hill stations. He likes to visit hill stations. He likes to visit hill stations. As my students have some net issues, I am writing questions on the board now. Okay. All of you, please. I'm writing the questions on the board. He likes to visit hill stations. Question number 2. It was raining. It was raining a little yesterday. It's gone. Yesterday. And my 4th question.
Ma'am, it was raining.
It was raining a little yesterday.
Ma'am, third question.
It is third question.
Baked. See, this board has some problem. It's not writing properly. Baked beans. Letters are missing. Better I'll read. Okay. It's not going smoothly on the board. I don't know. Touch problems. The baked beans, B-E-A-N-S. The baked beans come from an old family recipe. The baked beans come from... Dion, are you writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Safa, are you writing? Safa? Gone? Safa? 16. Very poor strength. The baked beans come from an old family recipe. An old family recipe. R-E-C-I-P-E. Recipe. It was difficult for us. It was difficult for us It was difficult for us to hear what she was saying. To hear what she was saying. Sleeping in the afternoon is not healthy at all. Sleeping in the afternoon is not healthy at all.
Can you repeat, please?
Sleeping in the afternoon is not healthy at all. Sleeping in the afternoon. Anlia, are you writing?
Yes, ma'am, I wrote.
Sleeping in the afternoon is not healthy at all. Next question. The dyed fabric, D-Y-E-D, dyed, colored. Dyed fabric should not be washed in hot water. The dyed fabric should not be washed in hot water. The dyed fabric should not be washed in hot water. Next question. He bought some flowers. He bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. He bought some flowers to give to his mother. He bought some flowers to give to his mother.
Can you repeat the question?
He bought some flowers to give to his mother. To give to his mother. You are very clever at making excuses. You are very clever at making some excuses. Making excuses. Sorry, not some. Making excuses. I like writing in English. I like writing in English. He locked the door. He locked, L-O-C-K-E-D. He locked the door to keep everyone out. To keep everyone out. Last question. Making fun of other people. Making fun of other people is not nice. Making fun of other people is not nice. So it's the end of today's session. Identify non-finite forms from these sentences and name it, whether it is to infinitive, whether it is used like a participle or a gerund. Yes, Gopi?
Ma'am, can you repeat the last question?
Making fun of other people is not nice. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Discuss this answer. Okay, we'll discuss this answer. It should be ready. Next class, all should sit with the activity, grammar activity. I'll be checking your activity in the next class.
Ma'am,
Don't
worksheet.
raise any excuses hereafter that I was not there in the class. I was unable to know all such things. But next class, it is a must to sit with the grammar activity.
Ma'am,
Topic is synthesis of
worksheet.
sentences. Okay.
Worksheet.
Thank you, ma'am.